Okay, good afternoon, folks, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's the 18th of November, Monday. I took a payment over the weekend, put an order in for a payment on Friday, late Friday. It was about midnight on Friday, and it was approved early on Sunday. So this is the first time I'll have had a payment since they've got these new rules. So it'll be interesting to see how quick. Now, it wasn't much, only $1,000. But it's the first one I've had for a couple of months. So I'll be interested to see how they operate, how quick they get that paid. I believe it's within 48 hours, so be interested to see. I just wanted to take a bit so I could add to it. So I added a couple of evaluations. That one is passed. There's two that have passed anyway. That was the last part of the second one, but I like that. Triple test, second entry short, channel down, 2 clear attempts to push higher. For me, that was coming down to test these lows. So market is open. So Tony, good morning or afternoon to you. Speedy, good morning. How you doing, buddy? Well, no, afternoon. You're afternoon at the moment, aren't you? Bulgaria. I'm sure you said you're Bulgaria, so yeah, you're probably a year ahead, an hour or so ahead. Daryl, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I didn't have a bad weekend at all, actually. We have got some cold weather coming in the UK. So yeah, you're a couple of hours ahead. Okay, we've got some snow, I believe, where I am tomorrow. So I don't know how much. Mind you, only need about 2 inches in this country to cripple it. That's the norm in most places. I watch those that Outdoor Boys YouTube channel where he does a lot of camping and survival stuff out in Alaska, and I saw him digging some temporary accommodation in 14 foot of snow. So a couple of inches over here tends to cripple this country. So market is open. So channel break new high, channel break new low. I was just looking at that, the daily. I'd say from what I can see on the daily, it looks to me like we could go down some more. So leg up, a couple of legs down. It's hard to say at the moment. So let me just quickly get the daily in again. So there's the daily. So obviously sometimes it bounces and holds, but whenever we have these decent pullbacks, reasonable size pullback, a lot of the times it slices through the EMA. It did it there. That held. It was more sideways, but that was a pullback. So my gut feeling is whether we have we could have a pullback of half a bar here. Might not seem nothing on this. But on the 2000 tick chart, it could mean a day of up, really. But my gut feeling tells me that is probably likely to come down a bit further. So we did have a little pullback on it, and it is kind of looks bearish at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue down some more. So Exponential, how you doing, buddy? So we'll see. Yeah, so I took a payment, first payment I've had for a couple of months, only $1,000. I just wanted to add some accounts to it. So I put into it late on Friday, and it was probably mid-morning on Sunday when it got approved, which I was quite surprised. We have heard rumours of it being quick, but I didn't expect it that quick. So it'd be nice to see if I can get in the bank this week, hopefully, from what I've heard. And Speedy as well. You got a payment, haven't you? Good for you, mate. It's nice when you start to get some payments. I'm getting them more often now. What have I had this year? 6, 7, 8. What have I had this year? I had 6 quite early in the first couple of 3 months. 7, 8, 10. I think I've had about 14,000, something like that. 13 or 14,000. That's not including this 1,000 yet. I did 12,000 last year, so it's definitely an improvement. I have had some problems with losing trades and then blowing accounts. But I seem to be in a good place now. I'm building these accounts up nice. So yeah, it's nice to get a payment, isn't it? I've thought more and more about this. You know, the way you've got to keep money in there. You could only have $500, 26. I think it's a good idea. It does help you. It helps you keep that account, because I would say, my personal opinion is 9 times out of 10, if you withdraw $2,000 out of a $2,600, chances are you're going to blow that without a doubt. I've done every time I've taken a payment. So I think it's a good idea. It's nice to get there. Hey, Jan, how you doing, bud? It's nice. Yeah, I want to try and get my accounts to about 5,000, and then what I'd like to do is take $1,000 payment every month or thereabouts, and anything else I make on top, build the account up. And when it gets up to that next kind of financial target, I'll try taking a little bit more. Now, there is a higher low there, but it's below that EMA, so there is a possibility we could come down and retest this, so I didn't take that. Although we've had a channel and a new low, I'd rather sit tight just in case, because there is a chance, looking on that daily, that we could get a bearish day today. So I'm not sure whether this... Yeah, there's a second entry short there. It's closed above the EMA, but I mean, that is just pure speculation at the moment. It's sideways, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised leg in a leg up, break new high. We struggle to get up here and start to work down, so that's just speculation, so I'm going to remove that. So lower high would have worked. That ATR is coming down, so that's good news. I just passed a Bullanox. Good on you, mate. I am not copied since... Yeah, they don't allow it, do they? But how can they know? This claims you copied and denied a payout. Yeah. I think it was whose video was it I watched? It might have been that Kellyanne's video where she mentioned it, and they said they do know somehow. God knows how. I mean, if they... You know, with the software or something, if they put cookies in, I don't know. I'm not very. You're more sort of software minded, Jan, than me. But I don't see why it's a problem. It doesn't make any sense to me. That does. Surely what you do, you know, as long as you follow, surely what you do with your account or other accounts, it's nothing to do with them really. But it would be a shame for you to get there, so you may just have to trade that one. Well, I mean, you could try it with one, couldn't you, and just try it and see what happens, but you could always sort of deny all knowledge. If they refuse to pay you, just say, well, I didn't know, and then hopefully they'll let you take a payment at the next one. So, you know, you could either do it that way and give it a try, or just trade that one by itself. Yeah, they have some of these strange rules. I don't quite know why. Bullanox one, I've not tried. I think I tried a top step one maybe 7 or 8 months ago, maybe a bit longer. My Funded Futures, I've got one at the moment. You Profit, I used those for a little while before Apex. And Earn to Trade was the very first one I tried, which was about... I don't know, maybe 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, somewhere around about there. But I was surprised to get my payout approved so quick. It is nice that we don't have to mess around with these, you know, these dates, because it's frustrating if you miss a date, you miss a day, and you don't hit that 10 days where you can withdraw, and it kind of forces you to open and close a trade, which isn't a sensible thing to do, really. So I'm glad they've dropped that. So, Top Step, yeah, a lot of people say Top Step are the best, they think, don't they? See, a bit. Who was I talking to? talking to? I think it might have been you, Speedy, about this so-called straight to live account that Apex are introducing. I don't know when. I'm assuming it's soon, but it'd be interesting to see what sort of price, because at the moment we're paying about $33, aren't we? And about $85, so it's I don't know, it was $120 thereabouts, give or take. So it'd be interesting to see how much will it be. I wonder, $200, maybe a bit more. Top Step X, yeah, I do believe they got their own platform and cannot copy between Top Step and okay. So have to trade Bullocks and Top Step separately. Yeah. Do you have to use their own Top Step X, or can you use your? I believe you can use your own platform, can't you? So channel break new high, back to the EMA. Is this going higher? Tough one, really. My guess is maybe up to this level. There is kind of an area there that I want to be aware of. There's a little bit of support there. You can use Ninja Trader and Tradeovate, most others. Yeah, I do like the fact that Tradeovate, so I've got Tradeovate on my funded future, so I can trade the both at the same time, which I kind of like. So you suppose you can consider that a failure, really, can't you? I'm just sitting tight here at the moment because I'm unsure what's going on. There's a lower high there, but it's a doji. It may be a higher low here. Well, actually, technically, if it breaks below there, it's a possible second entry. There is a little bit of support up here, so until I see a setup, nothing really, unfortunately. I didn't want to take that. It's only really a first entry. There's the failure. We got a kind of a new low there, so we may still get a second entry long here. We need to break below there, though. It's just something about this I don't like. It's going a little bit sideways, which means, if you think about it, it's kind of a miniature head and shoulders, and it's shoulder, head, shoulder, which means it's a bearish pattern. So we kind of a leg down and a leg down. So we could have something like that. I don't know whether we will. But if you have a leg and a leg, that may interest me. I was doing a little bit of studying over the weekend. And these type of trades, 2 legs up, seem to work so well. I mean, look how well that worked. It was a second entry short. It was a triple test. But when we seem to have a leg down there, it's typical type of a penguin trade, that. Channel down, one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, that fails. That comes nicely through that EMA. But look how well that worked. Second entry short triple test. I mean, if you can find these setups that look clean, that's not so clean, but you can kind of see what's going on. But if you can find those setups, man, and if you get a good one, you can really ride them. I mean, that thing came down for, look, 13 and a half points. Even if you can, once we break below the bottom, even if you follow those bars down to there and there's 11 points. And once you get below here, you probably keep it a little bit tighter. But, I mean, even if you can get somewhere around 12 points, that's equivalent of 4 trades for me. So, leg down. I want another leg down before I get involved here. I'm not taking that because it could trigger it and come down. Because we may be having a little bit of a range here. Look at the tops. So, I don't want to go long here into that. I'd like to see a leg and a leg. before that would interest me. We may get that. I don't think there's enough support there to stop that from going higher. We've had a leg up with a break new high. If we get a leg and a leg, I'd expect that to push up for another leg, certainly to these highs. But we've got a break below there, really, for me. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to. See, this chart doesn't look too bad. Leg and a leg. I would prefer this to come down a bit lower. Because it is good. Leg and a leg. Okay. I don't think it matters which one I take this on. I'm going to open it up here.
Order submitted.
And it should show itself on the other chart. Yeah, it is. So a leg and a leg. It's actually a second entry long as well. And maybe even a fail breakout. If that ends up bullish, I'll take that. I think it's come down a bit too far now. Yeah, as I'm going to... oh, no.
Order
It
canceled.
went orange for a second. I thought it was going to freeze. Trip on the ES top stop is only 280. Yeah, I believe, pound for pound, it works out the same for micros, doesn't it? Because normally micros work out more expensive, compared to your risk. I believe it's imbalanced, isn't it? I believe. If we can get a higher low here, that may interest me. Actually, no, maybe not. I'm just going to take that off. Shame, actually. I thought that would have been a nice setup to go along there, but market had other ideas. See that this bearish feel I've got. It's that I don't like. I thought we were going to get a nice setup then. It's a bit early, really. A couple of legs up, though. Second entry short up here. I'd have a go at, I think. Channel break, new high. So that's played out. Channel break. If we can get two legs up here, I'll have a go at that short. It's not low enough for me to be concerned about that at the moment, I don't think. Okay, one leg. We need to get a break and something else, I think. That's only a first entry, unfortunately. As bearish and as nice as it looks, I mean, look at the size of it. I think that'll probably work, but I'm not taking it. We've got to get a second leg for me. Sometimes when it fits that snug under there and it's that bearish, sometimes it just takes off and you don't get a chance of another attempt. Once we get down below there, it's game over anyway. That moves over, really. Looks like it's going to... I'll be surprised if we do get another pullback now before it breaks below there, because that's so bearish. If we can, it would be lovely. A small one, but it's still too far. There's no space left. Okay, so did it break below there? It didn't, actually. We need to get a decent pullback. We haven't broken the lows yet. I'll be surprised if it doesn't break below there. But we need to get up here, really. Okay, as now. So channel break, 1, 2 pushes to a new low. We want to get down here towards this, ideally. So you may consider this long as a triple test, but at the moment, this to me has got a bearish feel. Now, we could be ranging... it may just come down and retest this, but I'm sitting tight here because this has got a bearish feel to it. So I don't really want to go long. Yeah, someone's just posted that, so he's thinking about something similar. So channel down, couple of legs up. So it's a trade that often works, but often you get a spike in the opposite direction. Yeah, see, maybe that'd work. I wouldn't take it at the moment. 1, 2, 3. My theory is, my thoughts are, this is coming down, so that would get stopped out. Now, I'm not taking it anyway because it's clearly sideways and there's clearly support there, but my gut feeling is a leg down, channel down with a break, one attempt to go higher, and we got 1, 2, 3. You may call this a little triple test. It's too risky to take, to be honest with you. But if it gets below there, which I believe it will, I think this will come down. Short setup, yeah. Can be a loss, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm just staying out of this. It may go up, it may not. There's definitely going to be shorts in here, I would have thought. So I'm guessing the shorts are thinking down. If we get a bit higher, I wouldn't want to take a short there. I'd want it up here looking proper bearish. It's still too much sideways, that is. It could trigger and come a bit higher. My gut feeling is it's bearish enough to probably work, but I'm not taking a short right into that. Not a chance. It's 12 ticks and ain't finished yet, so tick above, tick below, it's 14 tick risk. Just too much, really, because it's clearly congested. If it gets below there, then my belief is we'll get that second leg down, but I'm just not taking anything. If it gets below there, I think we're okay, but you may get a second entry short here, see. 1, 2, 3 triple test, traps and longs. Could do either or here. So missing a trade like that triggers and starts coming back, it may hold, but that is not what you want to see. It's just not safe to take those, really. It's just got risk written all over that. It'll probably work, but it's one of those ones you just never know. I certainly want something better than that to get me involved in a trade. It looks a little better on the second chart, but it's still risky. That body's too far from that EMA for me. If that body was tucked up tight, it's amazing how much it makes a difference when that body is snug to that line. I mean, look how bearish that is. You know, if you traded that, I think you're safe to come lower. I don't think it'll come up and hit that, because my thoughts are it's working down. But on my other chart, it looks a little bit more. It's not so much sideways. It is kind of still working down, but the body of that is just way far from that EMA. So many times it'll trigger, push up and stop out. Look at that bullish bar now. I'll be surprised if it doesn't stop that out. The trouble is, as much as I think this is bearish, I've learnt the hard way just to not get focused on one direction. No pun intended. It's so easy to be that focused on going short, and this thing all of a sudden ramps up, and up it goes, takes out that, takes out that, takes out that maybe. So I've stopped assuming. So this one looks a little better. That will be a second entry short, lower high, trapping a bull bar, but it's just choppy here. You know, as much as 1 minute this looks great, it can soon turn. And that's the great thing about losing trades, is you really do learn. Once you add a certain amount of losers where the patterns, you really start to wise up and stay out of it. When you're new, it's impossible to stay out of it. You're like a dog on heat. You know what I mean? You find it hard to control yourself. But there is a lot of support here, so it could push higher. But my gut is it's going to come down. If we can get a second entry short here, a bearish bar, then I may have a go at that. But it'll have to look wonderful. Channel down. One attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. That might be a better option. See how good it looks. It would have to look good.
Order submitted.
No. That's a
Order
sit and wait
cancelled.
time, that is. I thought that was going to come really bearish for a minute. It looked better on my other chart, but it didn't quite fit right. One leg up, second leg up. I was hoping we'd get a higher low here to trigger and then come down. See, although we've got these couple of legs down, it could continue to go sideways here. That's what I mean. It's very easy to focus on short. The first sign of a bearish buy, you jump in, it triggers you, stings you. So let's clean this up a bit. Let's bring that across. So channel down, one attempt to go higher, two legs down, second attempt to go higher. Maybe we get a rejection here, we'll see. It's not looking so bearish now. Well, that was quite a strong move there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 points pretty much straight up. I wasn't quite expecting that. I thought we may struggle here. I was looking to go short here. It just goes to show, doesn't it, how you can you focus can get you into trouble. You know, I happen to remind myself that it's very easy to be stuck thinking shorts and only shorts, and it just goes to show if you'd have taken something like that, triggers you. Look at that move up, takes out everything. I did mention that actually. You never know when it's going to turn up. Take out that one, and it did that very thing. So it is very easy to be focused on going in a certain direction, and sometimes you've got to remind yourself, just keep your options open. And it is just a case of consistently fine-tuning that memory, keeping that brain ticking over. That's why I'm bad at picking large targets. Yeah. The thing about large targets is they're not as reliable as obviously four ticks. You know, you can pretty much, I mean, not to take it away from your skill, but you could pretty much close your eyes and hit the buy or sell button and win 4 ticks. But yeah, picking bigger moves, you know, we all like to think we know where the market's going, and we all have kind of an idea, don't we? And in a lot of cases it's right, but sometimes, you know, if you are taking a bigger move, as much as, you know, we see this here, you think we're going to take another leg down, sometimes it'll struggle part of the way and just turn. I mentioned that. I thought that one was super safe. I thought we'd have a leg, mess around, and then come down for a second leg. It just goes to show it's so easy. But when it starts to go sideways, there's obviously, you know, there's a bit of a battle going on there. Are we going up or are we going down? But it is very easy. I don't know how many times I've done it, got that focused on we're going in a certain direction, and I'm looking for any way in to catch the move, and all of a sudden you get into a weak position and market punishes you. It's very clever at that. But you do learn after a while, you know, as frustrating as losing is, they are absolutely vital lessons that you must learn. So we got a break. There's a lower high there, and that may go down to that EMA, but it may not. So I generally stay out of these lower highs unless we've had an obvious break and a new high, because it could trigger that and push up. Sometimes if you're impatient and you get into these shorts early before the channel has time to have a proper break and a new high, it's very easy to get triggered and stopped out. And it always seems, usually that first bar short after we've moved up quite so many times gets taken out. It hasn't actually triggered yet, that lower high. I am paying much more attention to proper pullbacks as opposed to second entries. What I mean there is, rather than have a second entry that goes like that, almost in the same channel, I'm paying much more attention to these because they seem so much more reliable. If I can make it look half decent. That type, leg in a leg, so much more reliable. Rather than channel break. You know what I'm saying? The tighter the more these legs are split up, the more reliable they are. The more they're closer together, almost like in a channel, the less reliable they are. So let's just squeeze this. That, I'm happy, fits. There's your break. There's a new high. Bearish bar. I'm staying away from this. I am noticing more and more, as we know market moves in twos, when we have a break, I do like to have 2 pushes. We didn't there. We had 1 break and 1 push up, and then it turned. So the trouble is, we could have a leg, and this could go higher. But there is a lot of support around here. So I'm just sitting tight here, really. Sometimes the setup dictates. If it's a fantastic setup, they just work. So 2 distinct pullbacks. Yeah, absolutely. So many times I've got into trades where you get something like that, a visual second entry, and it stings you and takes you out. But look at this. One leg back, a pull back, another leg back. So 2 clear attempts, rather than, I mean, you see this down there. There is a second entry longer. It triggers, pulls it down, but it's not really 2 legs. It's kind of, it's a push down with a little pull down and a pull back and a break. It's not what I would consider 2 legs. And if you trade those legs, look at some of Daniel's charts. He's really good at them. I've been paying attention to some of his. But you can clearly see, let's get it on, you can clearly see the pullbacks, and they are so much more accurate, so much more safer to take. Let's find one of his charts from last week. That's one of them. Let's open it up a minute. So, yeah, probably not the best example, but, we've got a leg back and a leg back, 2 clear attempts to push up. This one here, leg and leg. I didn't like that one so much, so it's probably not the best example, but there was another one where it was a lot more clearer. That's one I took. I thought that was an absolute beautiful leg down, push up, lovely second entry, but you can see 2 clear legs, not something like this that you could almost squeeze into a channel. Sorry if I haven't explained that well. Let's just get rid of this now before I miss a trade. But yeah, legs, a leg with a clear break, they're so much more accurate. So maybe get a failure here, I don't know. But yeah, that you follow those legs that are split up side by side, that type of, I was hoping we were going to get one here. That would have been perfect. Channel break, new high, one attempt. If we'd have had something like that here, that would have been absolutely beautiful. And I'd expected that. And whenever we do get this, Mac will say it's usually to the centre of the move. If it's nice enough, I'm going to start holding on. That Gorilla Trader was good at those. He traded those really well. It's a shame he doesn't still stream or even make videos. I don't know why he stopped. Yes, if you were taking something like that as a lower high, look what happened. Triggered you, stopped your trades. Let's have a look. We did the same here. Went a bit sideways. You've got to be careful here because there's such a lot of support there. It's struggled to get above there. Yeah, so I took I put an order in for $1,000 on Friday. Late Friday night, early Sunday morning, mid-morning Sunday morning, it was approved. So they are doing it really quick at the moment. It's the first one I've had for about 2.5 months, I think. And I've just added to my account. So I've just added 2. I picked up 2 evaluations yesterday and I passed them both this morning. So that will take my account up to 7. I did say I wasn't going to increase above 5 until I got a payment. But yeah, nice and quick. It's quite hard to read today. It's hard to know where it's going. There was nothing there. In fact, in all honesty, I'd have probably avoided along there anyway, just purely for the fact that we've reversed off this area a few times. So now we've had that leg up with a break, I'm thinking it may come up and test this. I'm guessing 2 legs would get us comfortably up there. Yeah, it would. In fact, that would take us just above those, just above overnight highs. So if this is ranging, you could consider that a breakout, and we often get one the opposite end, and it's kind of what happened. We've pushed in, we've made kind of a W pattern, pushed up, bounced, and cleared the highs here. So this could come back into the range. It is kind of rangy, so as we know, most breakouts fail. That one did monumentally, and this one may. So we'll often see this more or less the same size. We're not a million miles away there, are we, from that? The size of the break, slightly larger, that one. But I don't want to assume we're coming in, but I wouldn't be surprised. So we kind of had the same thing there, didn't we? Not quite as congested. We pushed up a little bit sideways, up to the top, and then reversed. So let's see what happens here. That's a reasonable push down. Let's just check there's nothing larger working. So, possible. Just too early at the moment. Okay, leg. Let's get another leg down here. I mean, depending on how you look at this, you may take that as a lower high. I'm staying out of this at the moment because if it does finish, there's going to be no space left for the second leg anyway. And at the moment, I'm not sure whether this is coming back into the range or it's going to bounce here and then maybe start another channel to move further up. So I would be surprised if it doesn't break below there. It's a weak place to buy there, really. Okay, so that's taken that out. I can't see many people, but obviously someone will have done. So we've had two legs back. So is this coming into the range? It's starting to look like it. So second entry long gear that triggers may give us a failure. So I'm just going to remove that. But we've had a breakout there and a breakout here. So far now we're in the range. So I'd like to see a second entry long trigger. And then if we can trigger that, we may get a short here. Having said that, on the other chart, it's looking quite bullish there. I don't think I'm ready to take a long just yet. There is a second entry long on this other chart. I'm just staying out of it just at the moment until I know what's going on. I don't like that anyway. It's an inside bar. On the other chart, it looks okay, but it doesn't look like. Okay, maybe it will trigger. I'm not ready to go long just yet, I don't think. So this is a second entry long, but I don't like it at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on here. It has pushed up pretty strongly though. Did on the other chart, it flew up. In fact, if you went for 2 points, you'd have probably got that. It literally just launched, so maybe it is going up a bit more. I'm just not ready to go long yet because I'm a bit unclear. what's going on, because look at that second entry long. It's struggling now. This could come down and take that out. So this is kind of sideways. I thought we may get a break because we've had one here, but I also expected it to come back in, and it did. And we've had another test of it. So there is a failure there, but I'm still not convinced that's not going to come up any higher. I thought there may be a channel like that, but I don't like it now. Sort of a channel at an angle, but not now. Yes, one or two said second entry long, and a couple of others said fell second entry long. So it just goes to show some are thinking long, some are thinking short. I'm not sure what I think at the moment. We have got two legs back and a strong bullish bar, so maybe it'll go a bit higher. But it's a bit unclear. This is kind of crunch time. And I really don't want to get involved while they're making their mind up. There is someone along there. This could come down where possible. Yeah, exactly. The simple answer is, if you're not sure, it doesn't matter whether you think you should know or not. If you're not sure, you're best off just staying out of it. That way, you're not going to get yourself in trouble, because it's so easy. I can't tell you how many times I've done it. But it's clearly a bit unclear. We had a push up, we had a break and a new high. In fact, we had a new high again, then we had two legs down, but it doesn't look like it's... If it gets above this, it probably will move. But it's... I don't know. If you're going to draw this if this is going to continue up, would you do it like that, breaking a new high, or would you do it like that? It's just so hard, isn't it? It's at the second entry long. It was a fair-sized bar, wasn't it? So I'm just a bit unsure what's going on at the moment. So a tick above, tick below, it's 3.5 points, which is not huge, but it is if you're not sure where price is going. The trouble is, because it has been ranging in, we've had a breakout which failed, as we know most of the time they do. So we could have two legs back, a retest of this, and then down. So I'm just not confident enough to get into a trade where I know things are going at the moment. But having said that, if I was trading evaluation, I would have had a go at it, because I do trade them more aggressively. You're green, but I don't feel the market today. Yeah, I don't at the moment. Sometimes it changes if it gets up here and bounces here. But yeah, the simple answer is, when it's like this, and it's not mega clear, is it? We kind of know we're going sideways, but, you know, whenever we have this and we have a couple of legs back, often we do go up. But so where's the channel then from the bottom here? Is it there? And we've had a break already? Doesn't make sense to me. Is it there? And there? That kind of doesn't look right, does it? It's a bit early, so it's just a little bit... It's moving around in a way that it's not as clear as it usually is. Yes, it's two legs back, but after we've had a break of support here, sometimes we will come back into it, so... But everybody trades differently. You know, some people trade smaller amounts and they'll go for maybe riskier trades, but you know, play the numbers. You know, trades like that might work 60% of the time, even 70% of the time, maybe. Maybe you feel that they do and it's worth taking. I try and be a little bit stricter because it's how my personality is. I still don't like taking losses, so I'd rather go for what I consider a sure thing. You know, but other people feel differently. I mean, if you look at Mac's riskier trades, they all work. So there's another reason, isn't there? if you're seeing Mac marking those green bars that are slightly more aggressive, every single one of them he marks works. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't work that way. So this is clearly pushing up now, so it's retesting these highs. I thought it may do that, but that wasn't the pattern that made me think. If we'd have had more legs down here, if you've had that type of thing here, then I would have had a go. But because we've gone sideways and we've pushed up, that is making me be concerned, because the channel's played out and it's not playing out like a larger channel. Because if it fits here, we've already got a break, and it doesn't fit nice at the top. So, which is why I left it. Excuse me. So, what's going to happen up here? We're hitting the overnight highs, or close to them. So I'm not making this a larger channel. It doesn't look right to me. So channel. Let's have a look. So there's our overnight highs. That is now broken. That we're coming up to the measured leg. It is kind of 2 legs back, but it's not doing it in a pretty obvious pattern. So let's just keep this tight. You may say that's a small break, and it could be. I've lost trades with breaks that small, so I always kind of like to be aware if there's a possibility we've had a small one. What's the other chart like? I've been really looking forward to trading this week. I'm really enjoying my trading now. I went for a stage of having kind of a love-hate relationship, but I think we're getting on a bit better now, me and the markets. So I'm enjoying my trading now, which is kind of what I was hoping he was going to get to. Okay, so I can tighten that up, and that to me is a measured move now. So bottom to the top, nice and tight there, nice and tight there, touch. So that's played out, and that is definitely a break at a new high. So let's see what goes now. Now, Thomas Way's got that as a larger channel at the moment, because this middle doesn't look like a channel to me. I'm going to remain on the fence there. We're supposed to confirm it 3 times, and we haven't. So if it does push down to here, trouble is, if it turns here, it's hard to go long there for me, because if you know the overnight highs are causing us to be rejected, then I don't fancy going long into them again. So it actually doesn't look that bad, in all fairness, so maybe I will leave it. This is closer to the top than I thought, so that's played out anyway. Leg and a leg. But really, to confirm a channel, it's got to hit again, really. Actually, I'm going to just pick up another evaluation link. Okay, I've just purchased another evaluation. I'm going to have a evaluation link. Trouble is, this channel hasn't really been confirmed with touching. Obviously, you can join any 2 points. It doesn't look terrible, but to confirm it, you would want to hit it down here. So taking a long here would concern me, although it is a second entry long. I don't like it. I'd much prefer to get down to here and confirm this before I went long, because we've had a break out this bottom, and if the channel's up here, we've had a break out the top. Okay, so let's just reconnect this so I can get my other evaluation in the game. What's that do?
Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
No, come down. Second I got in, it took. Well, that evaluation's not going to last long. I thought we were going to have a leg and a leg down there, so I took a risky trade, and it's come the second I got in, it turned. Well, this isn't going to work very well. Hopefully we may get a triple test. Let's see. No, it wasn't, no. I trade them more aggressively. I just kind of go on my gut feeling. We're kind of in no man's land here, so I expected a pullback to here, kind of. It still may come back. I wouldn't go long here. How I trade my evaluations is I work out what I wouldn't do. You know, I tend to look at that. The second I get in, it completely turns. Oh well. My gut was this wasn't going to go much further before it pulled back. So it has channel break 1, 2, 3 triple test there. Hopefully, if that finishes bearish, it may come down. It may not. I had two valuations at earlier on, passed them both, no problem. Everything went where I wanted them to. And the second I get with this, literally as soon as I get in, it does the complete opposite. See, this is what I'm trading there. What I usually think we've got a leg down. Now, if I take that trade, chances are that will trigger, come down for a second leg. So I tend to do the opposite of what I would, what I think would fail. So for me, that we kind of had a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new higher, retest, and a leg back. There is some space down at the bottom of this channel if it is a channel. So I think if I took that long, would it work? And I would say no, which is why I jumped in there, because I expected that to trap and come down. And then the second I get it, it does the complete opposite. But we have kind of had a triple test here, so I don't know. I don't mind these trading regressively. I have a 50-50 hit rate on this, and if it gets me straight onto a PA, I don't mind. As I say, I did take $1,000 out of this, so I wanted to use a few hundred of it, or a few $100s of it, just to pick up some more accounts. This is going up some more. I have a feeling now this thing's going to launch. Now, do I get out of it, or do I wait? I'm just going to sit tight here because it is going sideways a little bit, so it may come back. Usually quite successful with these. How I train them, but this isn't. This is going to fail on me. This is starting to look quite strong. EMA's dropped below 2, and it looks like it's slowly starting to grind. I'm hoping we get a bit of a pullback so I can get out of this and have enough left to still trade it. It has stopped out that bearish bar on the other chart. But I'm only a few ticks away now for this blowing, so you're able to trade the different prop firm accounts on the same day. Can do, yeah, as long as you trade some of them on Rhythmic and some on Tradeovate. No, this is taking me out now. So yeah, you can, as long as you trade half on or however many on Rhythmic and Tradeovate at the same time. This thing looks like it's grinding up. Come on, pull back. This looks like it's slowly grinding higher. Well, it's hit the 25.
Order filled.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to say it's hit it a few times. Small bars, ATRs low. This to me looks like it's going to get a move up. Trouble is, it's going right at the midline and nothing I can do there, unfortunately. Now it comes back. Huh. Prices could get rejected here. Trouble is, you know, they're starting to go very small side by side. Often that says a strong market. Trouble is, when they're going across the middle, there's just nothing you can do there. It's got to come down here, really. So we got a strong bullish bar from there. But there's nothing you can do there. I mean, it does look like it's just going to continue on, especially when it's going around there. It's not even getting anywhere near this. But you just can't trade it, unfortunately, as tempting as it is to just launch in and thinking this thing's going up. Let's try and catch a move. Whenever you do that, it's got a tendency to just making you miserable.
Order filled.
Just got another evaluation. I'm just going to see if I can ride this up a bit. It looking like it's working up, so I'm just going to see if I can see if it'll let me ride it. It depends, mate. At the moment, I'm just using 4 contracts. This one here, I'm risking it, but this to me looking like it's grinding up. So when it started to go a bit slower there, I've just got 4 contracts. I'm just seeing if it'll, because at the moment it looks to me like it's one of these that's just going to continue. Now I can put that back at the previous swing, and that's not enough to sort of get me out. But we are getting a bit. I had a feeling it was going to do that. Let's just get out there for a couple of 150. In fact, now let's just leave it. I don't mind it pulling back a bit as long as it doesn't take this. It just to me looks like it's going to continue up. Trouble is, it's a relatively tight channel, so we could have a leg and a leg before it goes a bit higher. So I'm just going to come out for a few $100.
Target filled.
And see what happens. But it does seem to me as one of those ones that may just continue on up. We've had this channel, didn't we? And we've had a leg and a leg, so I wonder whether we're going to get up here somewhere. But that's quite wide, this isn't. So I wonder whether we're going to end up getting something like that. I'm not sure. Sometimes I'll use 10. If the market, what I tend to do, power hour, when things tend to go crazy, sometimes I'll trade sometimes I'll trade the full 10 accounts and go for 64 ticks. But power hour on the NQ, you've either got to have a very small move, NQ, the way it is at the moment, something like that. And it's very easy when the market, sometimes it'll take off, pull back, take off again. And when you get it on that second time, often that works quickly. So sometimes I'll go for 10. But when the market's like this, I find sometimes 10 is just, it's just harder. Let me just have a go. We've had that pullback just for a couple of contracts. Trouble is, trading 10 contracts, you've got hardly any room for manoeuvre. Are you still waiting for the invites? Email from Apex. They've approved your payment. I've had payments before, mate, through it. So I've had a plane for about 8 months, something like that. So usually, if I remember rightly, we had to talk about this earlier, didn't we? If I remember rightly, when I signed up to it, when you apply for a payment, you get an email from Plane saying you've had an invite. You go in and sign up, and you see there where it says Apex, and then you put in your bank details and all that sort of thing. But it's been 8 or 9 months since I did it, so I can't quite remember. What happened.
Order filled.
So yeah, it's. I can't remember. It's hard. Anybody else know when you? Cause there's not many international traders here. When you get your first payment, does anybody know how it works as an international trader? Well, sorry, I know how it works, but do you contact them? Do they contact you? I'm pretty sure Apex contact you. Yeah. Do Apex automatically do that when you apply for a payment? I'm pretty sure they do.
Order filled. Target filled.
Just another quick few $100 on that. So we're up to 6. Yeah, it's automatically, yeah. So just if you just go into your payments and then apply for a payment, and then pretty much they send you an invite. You go in, it's all pretty straightforward. You go in and that's it, all sorted.
Order filled.
So you could say that is confirming that. So let's just put that tight there. Squeeze that up. Yeah, you could say that.
Order filled.
Just trading this on an evaluation as well. There's going to be some stops above there. Oh, look at that. It bounced off it. Do I come out? No, I'll stay in. Oh, no. I hate it when it does that. It broke above there and turns. I should have put my stop there, really, but I think it'd be okay. Let's put it up a bit now.
Target filled.
Okay, that's not too bad. I wouldn't have taken that on here. There's not much room to the tops, to be honest with you. I got about 4 or 5 ticks on the evaluation, but at 10 contracts, I don't mind. I upped that one because it looked like there was a higher low and we're going to break above there, but I wouldn't have taken that on my... I wouldn't. There's going to be some stops here. I wouldn't have taken that. It's just there's not enough room there, but 5 ticks will get me 600-700. So I don't mind doing that on an evaluation. Got a trade open. Yeah, it was just that evaluation, bud. I'm doing the ninja trade contest. I wasn't aware there was one going, is there? Have a good one. I took the last second entry long. Good for you. Good for you. Good on you, mate. This to me looks like it's grinding up. But I would like to see a wider channel. It's not getting to the top. So I'd like to see a break. Maybe something like that. So I'm up $1,300 on the one eval. 2 more evals have passed. But I'm just watching. I've got my 5 PAs linked to this. Copied. But just it's a little bit congested for me. The other chart didn't look too bad. Like I say, I had to go on our valuation, but I wouldn't have traded that. There's just not much room to the highs there. I go for the 3 points. You take it a tick across there. It's half a point away. You don't know when it's going to break above this and have more of a pullback. I still think we're going to open up this thing and have a wider channel. I think maybe something like that. This is starting to look like a strong market. ATR's come down. It's down 186 now. So that often happens. We get lots of these little bars and wicks. Taylor took a trade on here. His looked a little better than mine. Okay, so we've been going for just over an hour and a half. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. Make a cup of tea. Let this market sort out whether it's going to continue higher. But my gut feeling is I'd like to see a break. There is a bit of support around there, so maybe a couple of legs down, a little bit of sideways, and then go off up higher. But it's looking like that type of price action that continues and continues. And after the last couple of days, certainly Friday, we had a fair old drop, and the day before as well, and some more up here. So leading up to the election, the thing was pumping like crazy, wasn't it? Including crypto. But now I think we're working our way back up a little. So I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, and I'll be back. Okay, what's going on? I hate it when it's slow like this. We've got to get a break here for me, a couple of legs down. it is kind of looking like we may be branching out a little bit there. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's either going to go at this angle, or I still like a break for a wider channel up. Nothing worse than when it goes sideways. So damn boring.
Order filled. Order filled.
The trade open is just on an evaluation, that's all. We've just had a lower high triggered and looks like it's moving up. So if I took that short there, I'd expect that to get stopped out, and it triggered it and push it up. So that's how I usually pass these. I look for traders that are likely to get trapped. And if you took that lower high, traders are likely to, that's triggered and start to push up. So I expect it to break above there. So I'm just going in with 6 contracts, just trying to get out there. If it breaks above there and stops them out, it'll take my thing. And you'd expect that to happen, wouldn't you? I certainly would anyway. But whatever happened, it's going up. So I think it's minimal risk on that.
Order
I'm going
filled.
to go in for the full 10 actually. Because I think it's worth it. Come on. It is on an evaluation anyway. One more tick.
Target filled.
So it just pumped that there. So that's up to that evals up. That's kind of how I use them. I look for shorts where traders are going to get trapped. We had one there, came down quite a bit and then moved off. Another one there, but this thing's clearly going up. So any bearish bar really that gets triggered is going to get stopped out, in my opinion. So that's kind of how I trade those evaluations, little bits. But if you're trading 10 contracts, you've only got to get 4 ticks to get $500. So you do that 6 times and you pass them. I mean, that's exactly what I did earlier on. Just traded those little traps. And you can see it there. I passed those 2 there. That one's up to 1,800 now, so. This thing looks like it's grinding higher. It really does. This looks like one of these. We're going to get something larger, I'm sure of it. We've got to get a couple of legs down. There is support along there, so I wouldn't be shocked. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting something like this. Something like that, and then off in that direction. And then if this does go up for another leg, which it certainly could do, I'd expect a wider channel here. So then I'd be looking for something like that. And that kind of would. So I'm looking for something like this. So whether you want to take that there, if these two legs back, I see these all the time. And if you get a bullish bar here, often that bullish bar is quite small. And usually, like Mako said, it's the center of the pattern. These really work well. So if I can get a good setup the next time I see one that nice and a small bar, I'm going to hold that for at least the tops. And that's how that gorilla trader used to trade. Price is working up. We have a proper correction. Really two nice measured legs back and a nice bullish bar, often really small, and often that just takes off. So that's what I'm hoping for. I can't see this going up much higher without having a break and creating something wider. That's just my personal thoughts on how I see price. Whether it'll do it there or not is a different thing, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But often that bar there, the bullish bar there, is usually very small. The gorilla trader used to do that a lot. Don't get me wrong, he took a lot of risky trades. A lot of the time he didn't wait for it to get down to the bottom. I was watching him last night and he took 2 losses in a row. We had some support down here. That it was 2 legs down and he took a bullish bar about here, which was off the top, off the bottom, which for me was risky. Triggered it, stopped it out. Took another bullish bar there, off the bottom. It was risky, triggered it, stopped him out. As it came down, created a lovely bullish bar. He lost 2 trades in a row and got 11 points on that push up. So have a watch of some of his trades. He did used to lose a lot. I don't know, sometimes perhaps he just took riskier trades than me, but he waited for that move and got in, and often it comfortably surpasses that. I mean, if we can get 2 legs down there and take something here off the bottom, I mean, the potential to the highs there is 8 points, and often it continues on up. This usually is the safest place. Obviously, as it breaks up here, that's where you want to be following it with your stop, just in case it doesn't, because you don't know whether we're going to have a leg and a leg, and then it starts to do something else. But it's kind of what I'm looking for. But this thing seems to be just continuing on up really slowly, but hopefully, if we can get something that resembles that. So if it is like that, that may be an overshoot, but it's kind of fitting within that channel. Look at this, it just doesn't want to slow down, does it? I'd still like to see a break, though, in a wider channel. Yeah, prices just said great day for runners. Yeah, definitely. Which one did Taylor took? Taylor took something here, I think. He's still in a runner. So let's figure out where this could go, where we may have a pullback. Wow, okay, we've already made that measured move from yesterday. Come on, come back. This thing's on a mission. Okay, big bearish bar. Let's see what happens now. So there's the 10,000 tick chart there. This thing's going up. Now you may argue we've already had a break if you put it there. Touch, possibly to push us to a new high. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a pullback. Now you can bring it out, but then you're missing this. So It's hard to know there, but I wouldn't be thinking about going long here. I'd like to see a break here now.
Order filled. Order filled.
I'm going to take a risky trade. But on an evaluation. That looks like a break to me. I'll be surprised if we have a break and that pushes straight up. So I'd like to see another leg down. Show it. Oh, you really want to. That looks like a break to me. It may not. Scary, eh? I'm up $2,000 on this one anyway, so I don't mind if it goes against me. But I'd like to see a break there. In fact, I may even put it a bit higher. It may take that and come down, but this thing's got to be due for a something. Just goes to show you trying to be clever in an uptrend doesn't always work. Let's give it a couple of ticks, see if it hits that, and then it's starting to look like it may be a bit sideways. Bearing in mind, this is just an evaluation, by the way. I think, yeah. This thing could just keep going up. Surely it's hitting a little bit of support there. We're due for a pullback, surely. Come on. I'm just
Target
getting out of this
filled.
one. It's going up for me, I think. It's not a good day today. It's a really hard market to trade. How long have I been going for? Just over 2 hours. I might finish early today. I'm bored out my arse. I hate it when it does this. Low volume as well today, considering market's been open over 2 hours. It's just not a lot, is it? Yeah, it's not, is it? That tells me this thing is just going to continue up. Do you know what?
Order
I'm tempted
filled.
just to buy an evaluation there. Sorry. Just put the thing up there and just see where it goes. Just with a couple of contracts. It is slow, isn't it? Getting bored to death here.
Target filled.
I'm done today, folks. I've had enough today. It's just, it's so slow and it's just not giving us any setups. I'm bored. I feel really bored today. I just hate it when it does this. You see this big move and there's no way and you don't know when it's going to turn. So we've done how long? Just over 2 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, so that's it for today, folks. So it's just not a great day to trade today, really, unfortunately. Whether it look a bit different later, but I mean, you'd think really that much of a move, we've got to get some sort of a break. But there you go. So I am done. So if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Yeah, you too, Daryl. If you're carrying on trading, good luck. I hope you get something. But it might be a good day to take off today. So I will leave you to it. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Bye for now.